to 8th graders in our building right now. And yes, so the recording started. I'm going to restate that real quick. I'm Jamie Gibson. I'm the principal at Horizon Science Academy, Columbus Middle School. We have 456 to 8th graders, and I'm going to pass it to my teachers.
I'm Miss Gibson. I am the STEAM coordinator and math department head here at the middle school. And you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Miss Yardley. I'm the 8th grade social studies teacher, and I'm on the STEAM team.
And our testing coordinator, Mr. Brown, might come in a little bit later.
Thanks so much for introducing yourselves.
Ms. Gibson?
Okay, I am going to start our session off just by giving you a little bit of a background on who we are as a school. As stated, we are Horizon Science Academy Middle School located in Columbus. We are a charter school. We have a total of 445 students. We service grades 6, 7, and 8. We offer some special projects here for our students. We offer Project Lead the Way, orchestra, French, Arabic, career technical education, CTE. We offer high school credits, and we also offer a college credit plus, and we are currently working on our STEAM designation.
So when we were asked about presenting this, we tried to go through what helped us be successful with using Defined. Defined Learning is a platform that we found very helpful in supporting teachers with project-based learning. And these were some of the things that we identified that we needed to have to make it successful. First was support from leadership, support from Defined Learning. We also have a STEAM coordinator that is very supportive and a point person for our teachers when they have questions. And then teachers that are willing to participate and be fully engaged in using the platform. From leadership, having the financial resources to be able to support project learning. There's usually some small items that are needed that may or may not be in the classroom already. We also need space to support projects and presentations. Some of the presentations are done on a computer. Some of the projects are more hands-on, and they're building items that take storage space. With being a middle school, some of our teachers have up to 150 students a day, so having a space to store those items is really important. Ms. Gibson, Ms. Yardley, do you have anything to add to that slide?
No, you pretty much covered it.
Okay. We also found that having time to plan together, part of project-based learning is making sure there's interdisciplinary connections where they fit naturally. So allowing time in the schedule for common planning and evaluation of and reflection is important to make project-based learning work in general, and Defined Learning specifically benefits from that. We also need access to technology. Defined Learning is an online platform, so if you don't have access to an online platform, that makes it very difficult to interact with the work.
All right, the next thing we need support from is Defined Learning. Miss Yardley and I are going to talk about this because we have done all of the PDs they offer. The first one is the cohort deep dive. This was actually completed by all of the members of our STEAM team. And it was great because it's a 3-meeting process, and we had one meeting that had us looking at projects. We had another meeting in the middle, and then at the end we talked about our projects and how they went. And it was really good to deep dive into Defined Learning and pick a platform or a project and then actually work through it as a team. We've also had all staff training in Defined Learning. It was completed as a staff professional development. And we use the on-demand supports in the platform. So there are a lot of really good, if you need some ideas and stuff, Defined Learning has a lot of really good ideas that are just built into the program. Yeah. The next thing that is really needed for defined learning is good support, specifically from our STEAM coordinator, which would be me. We are in the process of applying for STEAM designation, and the project-based learning is the backbone of STEAM. So defined learning is a great tool to easily integrate project-based learning. And I just have some very quick tips that really any school can put in. I feel like sometimes you go to PDs like this and you're like, well, my school has this, doesn't have that, and that, but here are some tips that are easily integrated for any situation that you are in. The first one is to start small. Start with something that feels comfortable and will have positive results. The students will get engaged if they see something positive that they can actually finish. The second thing is use the customization tool. You know your students the best, and Defined Learning is a huge platform. It has a lot of really good resources, and the best thing you can do is customize the projects to fit your students' needs. And I believe that will be shown to you during the demo, the customization tool. Is that right?
Yes, I'll walk through that.
Great, cool. All right, number 3. Defined Learning has all the tools you need, but you can always add. So something that I need to plan projects and do projects is like a calendar to lay everything out. And Defined Learning doesn't have like do this day 1, do this day 2, because it is up to you to fully customize and do what you want. So I created a calendar that goes right along with Defined Learning, and I use their resources and their materials and then just plan it out in a way that makes sense for my brain. And it makes it easier to give to students as well, because if it makes sense to you, then it's very easy for you to explain it to the students, but also be available. I've taken a lot of Defined Learning PDs. I help staff be an extra hand in the classroom. I'll give feedback on student products and give insight on other grade levels and content areas. If you don't have a STEAM coordinator that's available like myself, definitely use department heads, PLC leaders, grade chairs, whatever you have available. Just get talking amongst your staff. And the last one, you should just try a project yourself. My students absolutely love the Design Your Own Cell Phone project. We found the screen size of cell phones. They designed their own cell phone, and then we used the Pythagorean theorem to find the screen sizes. And they loved it. Their phones were very cute. They made little apps, and they now can do the Pythagorean theorem, and it's incredible.
I wanted to comment on that. Like, it's whatever structure you have in your school, having a teacher leader to be that initial support person is critical, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yes, and so I have done a lot of projects from Defined Learning, and I've had the beauty of picking and choosing what felt right for my kids. So for certain students that might not be at grade level for reading, I could pick a lower grade level and then mend to what they need. For instance, the roadmap in the bottom was actually a 5th grade project that was listed, but I changed the requirements, just a little tweak here and there to make it fit my 8th graders. For the butter churning, I actually took from the English section and I did a reading with them and did the enter and exit tickets from there. So it's a great place to pick and choose and get ideas from and just build off of there. That's been the biggest blessing for me. Is sometimes I struggle with just getting the initial idea on what to do. And from there, it has really been super helpful.
That is the end of our slideshow.
Thanks. Thanks for sharing. It sounds like, you are engaging your students not only in the content, but you're also exposing them to careers, in those real world situations, which is kind of, a bonus for all your middle school students. So I'm going to take over and just share with you, what Defined Learning is, what it looks like on our end. I'm happy to meet with anybody. I'll share my email at the end, and we can always chat offline. I can give you demo access for you and your educators, but basically kind of to backpedal into, you heard a little bit about how they're utilizing it in Horizon. We work with districts all across the country, really helping with career connected learning, helping with student engagement, student achievement. We have 2 platforms that Horizon uses, Defined Learning and Defined Career. So Defined Learning is what we're mainly talking about today. This is our online library of PBL units or performance tasks or deeper learning units. Everyone calls them a little something different. There really is that place where we're asking students to apply what they're learning from your classrooms to real world authentic situations. So it is more standards based. You can go in through the math lens, the science lens, the STEAM lens, computer science, social studies. ELA is woven throughout everything we do because that is how we are, we're trying to replicate that, but for our students, that's how ELA is in our life, right? We have to be able to speak, read, write, listen. So that's Defined Learning, been around for almost 14 years now. Defined Careers is also K-12. It's really rooted in the clusters and pathways. So we had some of our partners come to us and say, we love what you're doing on the academic side for career connected learning. Can you develop something that is really looking at career exploration, career experiences to the 16 clusters and 79 pathways? And we did just that. So that's Defined Careers. I'll show you a little bit about both. And then Defined Academy is what they were referencing with some of our professional learning. We have a plethora of different professional learning supports, in person, virtual, hybrid models, etc. So now we're looking at Defined Learning. You can see the course library up top. You can see all the different core contents, math, ELA, socialized science. Here's that computer science and STEM. I'm going to take you through 2 tasks very quickly. I won't play everything for you, but just to get you an idea. I went ahead and clicked on math. You can see it is grade banded, but as they mentioned, great for differentiation. It's housed in grades based on rigor and standards, but once it's assigned out to your students, those grades go away. I just clicked on 7th grade math. You'll see a great course description up top, some hyperlinks there to support your educators, a course playbook, how do I utilize this, a teacher task plan and a student task plan, really chunking it out step by step for them. And then what am I teaching, right? So we have the most commonly taught units in 7th grade math across the United States. Am I teaching rational numbers? Am I teaching expressions, right? You'll see the titles of the task as the career they're embarking on. So are they going to be a game designer, a materials engineer, an advertising manager, just hundreds of careers. We always say you can't be what you can't see, really helping with that career awareness and connecting the relevance here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Architect Tiny House. This is housed in our 7th grade geometry unit. As we mentioned before, everything can be customized, right? So the idea is this is ready-made deeper learning, ready-made career connected learning, ready-made PBLs. If you have taught 7th grade math for a long time, you have something you want to add to this, absolutely can do that. You can turn on or off anything we have. This auditory visual piece will be a part of every task. First, they'll get a little introduction, less
Over the
than
last
30
decade,
seconds.
the tiny house movement has been spreading. A tiny house is a residential structure under 400 square feet. 400 square feet is similar to the size of a 2-car garage.
So just a little introduction. What am I about to embark on? A real world connection video next, answering that question, how is this relevant to me? Why am I learning this? And then they'll have an opportunity to check in, right? So a lot of educators use this as more of an exit slip. So what skills are needed to be an architect? What type of math? And then everything we do is tied to the UBD framework. So Jay McTighe, who co-wrote that, does work with us as an advisor with us, wrote an online course for educators, highlighting the pedagogy of performance tasks and how to best use them in your classrooms. So no matter if they're in kindergarten or grade 12 or socialized or science or math, they're going to work through a goal, role, audience situation, and then asked to produce and create these real world artifacts based on the goal and role.
Your goal is to help start a tiny house community in or around the area you live. Your role is as a designer, and you will be part of a team of tiny house engineers and architects. You will be informing the public about your new tiny house community, as well as developing a model tiny house. Your audience is the local community and potential buyers.
So they'll learn a little bit more context in their situation. You can always tweak in audiences to bring in local businesses and local experts. Then they're going to begin their research. open-ended questions here for them to keep in mind. Again, you could add more if you'd like. Helpful vocabulary. This is going to be through the math lens, so a little more math heavy. Secondary level will have research resources, taking them outside of defined learning to articles already written and vetted for them, helping with their product creation. And then you'll see a product menu. So the educator always sees 2 to 3 products to choose from. Here you'll see a scaled floor plan and or a 3D model. There'll be criteria for each. Maybe students are choosing if you're about more personalized learning, maybe you're signing out based on standards, you're checking for that transfer of. They'll work through that design and engineering process video, helping them take, ideation all the way up to creation, and then they'll submit and check in as well. So that's all the visual auditory piece up top, part of every one of our tasks. Everything is then summed up in text below. You work your way across these tabs. There are 4-point rubrics, standards-based rubrics there for every product. You can download them, print them, edit them. We can also measure and track competencies or anything and measure what matters to you. So skills, problem solving, the 5 C's can also be tracked as well. You'll see check-ins, extra resources, implementation strategies for teachers, suggested materials, like our educators mentioned, it's everything you easily can get your hands on. There'll be other resource links your standards will generate, and then we'll connect to our second platform, which is defined careers. So let's say I have a student really interested in this architecture experience they just went through. Maybe they want to learn a little bit more about being a landscape designer. They can go ahead and click on that, and they'll learn, what's the job outlook? Personality might match or not match, abilities, skills, and it will give you a little highlight of the career. And then if you have defined careers, which is our second platform, you can click right into defined careers and enroll in the course. So that's defined learning very quickly for you. That's one task. I'll quickly just show you, because we're talking a lot about STEAM. I'm going to click on the computer science and STEAM course, hundreds of PBL tasks here, all different grade bands. You get engineering, STEAM, computer science, and STEM and society, which is really highlighting that STEM and social science together. I went ahead and clicked on middle school STEAM. And one of my favorites, I don't know if you guys have done this yet, is food truck owner. So again, I won't show everything to you, but just a little highlight that they're going to step into the shoes of a food truck owner here. I'll play the goal roll audience situation for you. Let me make this a little bigger. They'll watch the video and then they will check in, and then they're going to get their goal roll audience situation.
Your goal is to develop a business plan for a food truck based on the needs of the people in your community. Your role is a food truck owner. You want to operate a business that is as cost-effective and efficient as possible. The target audience for your design will be citizens in your community who want to eat the food from your truck.
So they'll get a little more context in their situation, talk through what they need to know, check in, what is the problem or challenge that they're looking at, begin their research, helpful vocabulary, research resources, helping them with that product creation. And then what's unique about our STEAM content is you'll have a product option for every letter of the acronym. So you'll see a science product, you'll see a tech product, an engineering product, an art product, and a math product. So lots of options here. Maybe the students are choosing, maybe depending on, the rotation that you see them, they're able to do all 5 products. They're working together, building those future ready skills. So I just wanted to show you the difference. That's the product difference in our STEAM content. And then lastly, I'll show you defined careers. So I'm going to show this from a student lens. There's hundreds of career courses on here, all aligned to those 16 clusters and 79 pathways. You can go in it through defined learning and experience it that way. You can also take a 3-pronged survey looking at study preferences, interests, and work values. And we're going to recommend pathways to students, right, to experience, explore. I'm going to click STEM, excuse me, depending on my post-secondary plans. Is there something for me? Absolutely. Maybe I'm not college bound. I can learn about quality control analyst. Maybe I'm thinking about college or even grad school. I can learn about a biologist. Click learn about the salary, projected employment growth, and enroll right there. You know, students can take it every year coming into 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, up and, you know, throughout high school, right, as they change and develop. Another way districts will use our content is alongside in advisory times with counselors, as a supplement to CTE curriculum. You can search clusters and pathways here. Let's say I have a health science course or a group of students interested in health science. We can assign out to the whole class, or students can get on here, really take the wheel, drive their own experience and exploration, and go through any of those courses. We also have financial literacy courses, soft skills, post-secondary planning, resume builders. And then lastly, I'm not going to walk you through all that course, those courses, but they have a day in the life of in defined careers and go through a similar creating artifacts and whatnot. Then they have a portfolio. So the idea is K-12, 6-8, 6-12, however, we're partnering with school districts. Students are aggregating this great data. It stays with them. They can put in all of their artifacts from, you know, defined careers, defined learning. Here they were a game designer, a bookkeeper, you know, worked in AV, was an engineer. All of their artifacts and products go onto their portfolio. You're able to measure and assess student growth over time, looking at standards, competencies. Here's the defined learning where I was a food science technician, a forensic entomologist, etc. You can share this data out with anybody if you're, you know, applying for jobs, going to college, you might want to use that. We do have this resume builder as well, so they can, you know, add in anything that they're proud of and their experience, education, extracurriculars, etc. So there's a lot more to show you, but if you know, I know we're almost out of time. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. I can put my name and email in the chat. We're happy to answer any questions as well. I don't see any in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and put my name, and I can always give out, if it's okay with them, the Horizon educators' names and emails, in case you want to touch base with them and learn more about their implementation strategies. They are always willing to chat and teach people about the great work they're doing at the Horizon Science Academy. So thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone coming, and I know you're all busy. Appreciate what you do for the students in Ohio, and have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.